Alrighty.
Hello, welcome back to another Alarms Day podcast. Back here, and our co-host Daniel is here today.
Hello.
How are y'all? I hope y'all doing well, and I have a lot of update. I mean, first things, you guys know that the podcasts have switched to Saturdays instead of Wednesdays, so now we'll be doing them on Saturdays, at least for the near future. And my update is that my friends and I, we made a challenge. We made a challenge for $1,000. Now there's actually $1,200 involved because sixth person is in. So pretty much the six of us split bet $200, and in 3 months, whoever gets the best abs or like the best six pack or the most improved six pack gets to keep all the money, and the judges are going to be someone else, other people that aren't my friends, because they're biased. So we're going to be biased towards ourselves, of course. So we're going to pick someone who's not on the challenge to be our judge. There's going to be 3 judges, from what I heard. And yeah, I'm really excited for that because that gives me another reason to be motivated to do more workouts. So I've been ramping up my workout efforts recently. My goal is actually getting up at 5 now. I got up at 5 this Monday morning, but then I feel like my body is in shock because it's not used to getting up at 5. I feel like I need some time to accumulate to that. And the reason I could tell it was in shock is because the next day I got sick from allergies. My immune system wasn't used to waking up at 5, and it took a toll on it. So I gotta kind of go to bed earlier in order for me to not get sick, because right now it's allergy season, and the allergies combined with my sudden early rise has kind of got me sick for a couple of days, where I was out of the gym for 2 or 3 days. But now I'm back in. Today I had a workout, yesterday I had a workout, so I'm pretty happy that I'm back in. And
Hey, I got a couple of questions.
yeah.
So, when you woke up at 5, what time did you go to sleep? Because that's a huge factor.
11:30.
11:30.
So 5.5 hours. It's not good.
Nah, that's not good sleep.
Yeah.
No, you want to get a lot more than that.
Yeah.
You want to get around 7 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's a
7
sleep
hours.
cycle thing.
7 hours will be good.
So sleep cycle
really?
every 1 hour and 30 minutes is the sleep cycle, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think if you 5 hours and 30 minutes, or no, 5 hours is the sleep cycle. So it's 3 hours, and it goes 4 hours and 30 minutes. Then I think it goes 6 hours, 7 hours, 7 hours and 30 minutes. I think
7 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah.
that's probably a good amount of time to sleep. And then also when you were talking about the when I first heard about the challenge, the $1,000 challenge, I thought it was completely fake. I thought you took a joke out of context or something like that.
No, it's not fake. It's real.
That's so much money. I would personally wouldn't do that.
Oh.
Because you never know. Someone could come out of nowhere, never knew they had genetics, and then boom, they have amazing abs. But
yeah. Well, now it's actually increased to 1,200 because there's a sixth person that came. There's a sixth person there, so.
that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That got me more and more motivated. And part of the reason why, I was gonna say I started swimming again. So I'm gonna start swimming more and more because it's a good ab workout. Swimming is a good workout for the core muscles, especially butterfly. So those challenges is the reason why I got motivated to swim again. And I feel like no one else is gonna swim, so I'll have an advantage in a way, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah. But you also you gotta think about like cardio and stuff,
Yeah.
so you can help burn fat easily.
Yeah.
Or not easily, but quicker. Because when is the challenge gonna?
It's gonna end July 7th.
July 7th. All right, so you still have time.
I'm gonna run and swim, run once a week and then swim 3
You gotta
times.
go on. You gotta really count your calories.
Yeah, I'm going on a diet. I'm eating no bacon, no burgers.
Not diet. It's about calorie deficit.
Yeah.
You want to eat healthy, of course.
But I don't want fat. I don't want the very bad fat. I don't want the greasy fat.
I mean, that's not.
You know,
in my opinion,
stomach is
that won't really affect it, because if you're in a calorie deficit and you're still eating that kind of fat, you're still gonna lose weight, no matter what. Because that fat it builds up if you're not working out, if you're not burning it. You know, that's.
But still, it's not a good idea to eat that fat.
But yeah, it's gonna give you high cholesterol and stuff like that.
We don't want that.
But other than that, I would work on the calorie deficit. So I would take a calorie deficit calculator online, plug in your height, your weight, and how many times you work out a week, and based off of that, it'll give you about a calorie count. Say you can lose a pound a week eating this many calories per day. I'm doing that right now. Personally, I'm around 2,000 calories per day, so I'm trying to limit myself. Yesterday was a little bit difficult. So my sister and my mom went out of town, and basically me and my dad were too lazy to cook, and we were like, okay, we'll go out and get some fast food to eat. But all these fast food restaurants have insane amount of calories. It's like I can only eat 2 meals throughout the day. I would like to eat 3 meals, just so I feel more full. But yeah, I ended up getting a crispy chicken sandwich from McDonald's, and it was about, I think, 800 calories for a chicken sandwich and fries, which is a lot. But I was thinking about getting Cane's. And my God, it's just like I don't think it's one of the combos. It's like 3 or 4 chicken tenders. It was I think 1,000 calories for the toast, the fries, and the chicken. It's like, my God, I can't fit that into my diet.
Is that the Cane's combo? Oh dang.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of calories for one meal. But yeah.
So how many meals did you have yesterday? 2 or 3?
3. I had breakfast. I ate a lot of calories for breakfast. It was yogurt. It was 310 calories because it had granola in it. And then I had a protein bar, like a peanut butter protein bar. That was around 260 calories, I think, something around there. But after that, I ate the McDonald's thing, and then I ate meatballs and rice. Meatballs and rice are a lot better for you than the chicken sandwich, and it felt a lot tastier and less calories as well, which is nice.
That's cool.
But you've been trying to do any of that?
I've been trying to cut out certain foods. Like I said, no bacon, no burgers, no fries, no potato chips. Corn chips, I'm still gonna eat them because they're not greasy. No Chinese food, because Chinese food is kind of greasy as well. But Thai food is still allowed. I can eat Thai food because it's not as greasy, but Chinese food, no. Like the Kung Pao chicken, that's greasy. But it's so good. I can't resist it, but I'm going to try to stay off of that for the next 3 months. And then...
you can still eat it. It's not like you have to cut out greasy foods from your diet. It's more you have to maintain how much you eat throughout the day. Because if you... you know how some skinny people eat really unhealthy, right?
Yeah.
And it's because they're eating less than they burn, right?
Yeah.
So they're able to cut down and get a lot of fat off. Yeah. So I would say it's fine to eat it every once in a while, like every 2 weeks or something like that. But I wouldn't recommend it eating every day, of course. But
yeah. So I'm pretty skinny, so as you can see, the only reason I'm concerned is because I think there's a little bit of fat right here. It's where it's built up. It's either water weight or fat. I think it could be water weight, honestly, because it's kind of like very squishy. My abs are covered by something. I need to get rid of that. So
it could be water weight. It could be either one.
I think it's water weight, so I need to try to lose that, because everywhere else, like my arms are super skinny, as you can see. I'm very skinny everywhere, but my stomach is like a little bit. My abs need to show. That's the thing. I want to show them. So that's part of the challenge. So yeah, I don't need to lose fat a lot, to be honest. Probably like 1 or 2 pounds right here, and that's it.
You're gonna have to lose a lot overall in order to lose that 1 or 2 pounds right there, because you can't really target where you lose your fat, you know?
Oh, but I don't know if there's any fat right here left to lose, because there's already barely a fat to start with here.
But it's not. You just gotta look all over the body. The main thing is you gotta the calorie deficit. You want to eat healthy while you're doing that, so you don't get like other factors. Like if you eat a super high sugar diet, you could get diabetes. If you eat high fat diet, you could get heart problems, high cholesterol, a lot of side effects. If you don't eat enough vegetables, you could get bad gut health, and then Meat is not as important, but you don't want to eat too much red meat, of course.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the reason is, but I know a lot of people say that. It's proven to be true as well that red meat's not as healthy as meats like chicken or is pork red meat?
I don't know actually.
Yeah, maybe pork. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll let you know. But yeah, it's healthy to eat those kind of foods. But at the same time, in order to lose weight, the absolute must is to know how many calories to eat per day, and try and maintain that the best you can. But of course, there are other factors that come in, like genetics and stuff like that, that will tell you how difficult it may be for you to lose weight, or and these other things that may hold you back from losing weight. Because I know some people have insulin problems, which make it extremely difficult to lose weight.
And body type as well. If there's several body types, if you're there's ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Like the endomorphs have the thick bones. If you're a thick bone, you're harder to lose weight because the metabolism is slower of those people. We're ectomorphs. Daniel and I, our body type has we tend to be very skinny and hard to gain weight. It's much easier for us to lose, but it's like we gotta lose. The thing is, we don't need to lose muscle. We need to lose fat because muscle is what we want to keep. We want to keep the muscle, but we want to lose the fat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. I know we brought me, you, and Jonathan's not here today because he went to church for Easter. But we were going to talk about this week. We talked about two things: the bodybuilder stuff and the electric car things.
Yeah, electric cars.
But yeah, it was interesting to talk about. That's kind of like the main highlight of our week. I know we were trying to make up a scenario where we would try to picture ourselves being 400 pounds as a bodybuilder. Like, there's no way we could ever reach that.
Yeah. Like, imagine Jonathan said that. I think he said it as a joke, but he's like, "What if we get ourselves to the 400?" Like, that's like very hard to imagine because those people, they have a different body type. For us, it's so hard to gain weight. Like, if we try to eat a lot, we'll just burn it off. We have a high metabolism. We just burn it off, and our bones just not made to support that much weight. So
it would snap.
It's just like, I think that if we were to dedicate our whole entire life to bodybuilding and just do nothing else and just stuff ourselves 5-6 times a day, eat, then that would be. I think we would be able to get to 250 to 270 max, somewhere there, realistically speaking. So definitely not 400 though, but maybe 250 to 260 or 270 max if we were dedicating our whole lifestyle. So that's what a more realistic hypothesis would look like if, and then Jonathan also pointed out that our lives would suck, right? Like, because bodybuilders, they dedicate so much time and they don't have time for their hobbies or anything like that. If you go professionally, you go all in, it all depends. Some people like it. For me, I wouldn't like it personally because I would like to leave some time for other things too. So how do you see it? Do you think your life would be much more uncomfortable than it is now?
Oh yeah, bodybuilders are a very hard thing to do, especially because you have to eat a lot, you have to work out, and it's more about like making your body look big and defined, you know. And that's in my opinion, a very hard thing to do. It takes a lot of discipline, patience, and training. Because they gotta work on every single muscle. They gotta do a lot of research on how they can get their body, what genetics they have, what kind of mainly genetics and how their body reacts to things is a big factor that goes into bodybuilding, and it's very hard to maintain that. I know people cut, and I can't imagine cutting. They probably cut like 30-40 pounds. I don't know. That's probably I don't know how much they cut, but they cut up a lot of weight after they basically get all the muscles that they want to make themselves super defined. But it's insane. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, it's just what I'm looking for is just good health and good defined muscles. That's what I want, but I just don't want to be on a professional level because it's not only does it take a lot of time, but also they're very stressed out about being the best in public appearance and things like that. I don't. I feel like it's a good like being a professional bodybuilder is really something that's not for me personally, and I feel I just want a good looking body, but not taking it on a professional level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a big issue is body dysmorphia. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't like the way your body looks, so you keep trying to change it, or like, at least in my experience, I didn't like the way my body looks. I kept trying to change it, lose weight, gain weight, stuff. But I think the main thing for that is just like it's a mindset thing. You gotta appreciate yourself for who you are, be proud of yourself, and not let people bring you down based off of how you look. Because everyone looks good in their own way. No one looks good in every single way. Everyone has their flaws. Everyone has their perfections.
We just gotta at least try to be healthy, you know. If you don't, there are ways where you don't look healthy, right? So that's your goal is to ultimately be healthy. Like, of course, you're not gonna be perfect, but at least try to look healthy or try to go for it. Because you know,
there are different ways that people look healthy. But,
there's different ways. There's a large variety of healthy ways, but you just gotta at least go for one if you're not. And then if you're already there, then just be satisfied with what you have because you're healthy and we're all unique. You know, it all depends on. There's a lot of different ways you can have a healthy body. It's not like there's one set body that everyone needs to follow. There's like several options that you can choose to be healthy. Yeah. Either just bulky and healthy or just lean and healthy. Whatever works for you.
But it's bodybuilding is very interesting. I've never personally been like super into it, but I kind of like appreciate. I guess you would say the art of bodybuilding, right? Yeah. I appreciate that. It's a very cool. Shoot, I lost my train of thought. I'll get back to it, but I was just gonna say I really like what it's doing for the community. It helps a lot of people get into working out, get into kind of like a healthy lifestyle, so that way they can become the best version of themselves.
It kind of motivates them, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a big inspiration. So I think it's a very good, what do you call it? Good community, or not community, good inspiration to have, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, other than bodybuilding, we talked about the
electric cars, yeah.
It's kind of like a bill they were trying to pass. Was it in California or was it?
In California, just California. It's not. I don't think it's a bill yet, but they made a goal to eliminate the electric cars by 2035. Or no, not eliminate. Keep them only. Keep only electric cars.
Produce only electric cars.
Produce only electric cars. My bad. And then eliminate all gas cars. That's the thing. Eliminate all the gas cars
from being produced in
like the new gas cars. Yeah. So by 2035, California's goal is to have no more newly produced gas cars, but only have newly produced electric cars. And that seems like a stretch to me because 2035 is not that far away. It's only 13 years away. And if you think about it, it seems crazy how it's not as far away as we thought. And that electric cars might still be pretty expensive back then and not accessible to everyone, so I don't know if that's gonna work out, but at least they can try and see how the prices are. If the prices are affordable for more people, then maybe they can shut the gas cars off, but if not, then we gotta eventually wait until everyone can afford electric cars, or else there could be a lot of backlash on the new rule if people can't afford the electric cars and the gas cars are banned.
Yeah, definitely. So it all depends on the circumstances, what happens in the next 13 years. If we have electric cars becoming more of a luxury, then that's going to be horrible for that bill to come back. But I think there are a lot of companies trying to make it more affordable. I know I have an electric car myself. I drive it around. It's pretty affordable. I think around $20-something thousand, and then around $20,000 with government help, which is really nice because it saves you a lot of money on gas. The only downside is it's for city driving.
Yeah.
You can't really take road trips or anything like that.
But Tesla you can, but it's very expensive.
Tesla you can. Yeah, it definitely gets expensive when you put in all that other stuff. It's considered a luxury, but I think in the future they'll come up with cars that are going to blow away the type of mileage that we have with our current electric cars. That you can take road trips pretty easily, as well as charging time. Charging times are getting quicker and quicker and quicker. I know there's a new electric car that came out. I think it's from Acura. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was an Acura electric car that came out. Basically, they said that there was a 20-minute charging time to get it back up, 15 or 20-minute charging time to get it back all the way up to 80% battery, which is pretty good. It's still nothing compared to like just pumping your gas for a couple minutes and then leaving. But I think in the future, 13 years from now, we might be able to have that technology where we're just like a couple minutes, do, and done.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of too early for them to set that goal by 2035 because they don't know how good, how like feasible electric cars and eliminating gas cars would be for the population in general. But yeah, like I said, you're right that the technology is advancing in that eventually there's a very, very high chance that the charging time, things like that, are going to be even faster than it is right now.
Definitely. But I think the best option is to make that bill, have it kind of almost passed, but instead of just passing it through where it's like it's set and done, you need to meet certain criterias in order for the bill to be active. Which I don't know if that's a possible thing in the government. I'm not an expert on that. I don't know too much about that. But if that was an option, I think it would be a great option to set the bill to 2035 and say if we meet all these criteria by 2035, then yes, we will switch from producing gas cars to just purely producing electric cars. I know a lot of people also complain about how electric cars produce a lot of waste. Natural gas, a lot of gases into the atmosphere
during production process, right? And also the actual power grid whenever the electric charging happens. The
only thing is people don't look into the lifetime of the vehicle. The lifetime of the vehicle will end up saving a lot of natural gases from being polluted. Because if you think about it, we have probably, I would say, billions of cars, right? Billions of cars in the world.
No, not billion. I would say there's probably about close to a billion cars. 1/7 of the world.
Including motorcycles, mopeds.
Probably 2 billion then. 2 billion.
A couple billion, something around there, in terms of how many people, how many cars there are.
We might be very inaccurate. We had to check about this. How many cars? But
if you think about it, they're all being produced. I guess I haven't done too much research into it, but from what I'm thinking, electric cars emit maybe a little bit more than producing a gas car. They both take a lot of energy to produce. And once you get that out of the factory, with gas cars, you're just still pumping gases into the atmosphere, which you can't just take back. Electric cars, on the other hand, will save a lot by reducing the amount of natural gases pumped into the atmosphere, because you don't. Of course, you have like coal companies and stuff still producing electric, but we have the option of moving to renewable energy sources, whereas in gas, you can't just move to renewable energy sources for putting gas. It's still going to put gas in the atmosphere. That's a big thing, a big advantage of electric.
Charging, you can switch to renewable sources for where you get the electricity, right? Is that what you're saying? Like you can use the hydroelectric power to power the electric car, like from the grids. Sooner or later, like the grids are gonna start using renewable energy because there's less and less fossil fuels. So we're gonna be forced to switch to electric power. And countries like Norway are 98% renewable. Like Norway's 98% renewable energy, which pretty much blows my mind. Getting an electric car there means you're pretty much fueling it with completely renewable energy. So if I lived in Norway, I would get an electric car faster than you can blink. And
yeah, an important thing is to switch to that, just because a lot of scientists, or I don't know how many scientists, but there's definitely speculations where people are saying that the world or the climate change is going to be irreversible in a couple of years. I know there's still debate about among the community whether climate change is real or not. Personally, I believe it's completely real and it's a huge issue.
Yeah, that the ice caps are melting. That's one of the things that's obvious about climate change, and it's just, for me, it's very easy to see how it's real. That's not the only change, because there's weather patterns, more natural disasters happen. That's also climate change. More and things have to do with ocean acidification, things like that. That's all part of climate change.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's not just environments changing; it's the way that we live will end up changing, because with the main reason for climate change is greenhouse gases, right? Yeah. Pollution, and with that pollution, you can see in China right now how a lot of people are just wearing masks because of how much pollution there is, how much debris there is in the air, or gases in the air, making them almost unbreathable, or not unbreathable, but unhealthy to breathe.
Yeah.
And then you also got things like, if the climate change is going on where we're heading, temperatures rising and rising and rising, right? That's going to create more droughts, that's going to create less food to be produced, and less cattle or anything like that to be able to be produced. So we get less food, there might be a famine that might go on from that. It just goes on downhill from there. I don't know too many other things that'll happen, but I'm sure there's a lot of other things that will be affected indirectly from from climate change.
The crops, right? The crops are going to be affected. The crops and
water levels rising is crazy. I can't imagine. Like if the ice caps melted, I think most of California would just be underwater.
Yeah, and not even that. That is one of the issues. And then the other thing, the bigger issue from the ice caps melting is that you know how there's a warm current going from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up to Europe. It's called the Gulf Stream. So it goes from the Gulf of Mexico around Florida and up towards England and above Norway. That's where it goes. And basically, if the ice caps melt, they're gonna make that current cold, and so the weather in England is gonna be much colder than it is now.
Yeah.
And Norway, England, all those countries in the Europe, Northern Europe, they're gonna be much colder, and their crops might start to fail, and like they might have to adapt to a completely different lifestyle, and it's gonna be very hard on them.
It's gonna be like ice age at the top, and then the equator is just gonna be complete desert.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy. I can't imagine that. Everyone's going to live. Would you say we're in a decent area if climate change really affected us? Texas, at least North Texas.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like New Zealand might still be okay because it's very isolated from everywhere.
But I think
it'll still be affected, but I feel like it's still going to be a decent place to live. Yeah. Australia and New Zealand, those places.
How close are they to the equator?
Australia is like, the top of Australia is very close, but the bottom is like 30 degrees south, 33 degrees south, 36 actually, I think, somewhere there. Which is about the same as like in the middle of the United States. So it's a very wide variety. New Zealand is a little bit south. It starts about like 30-ish degrees north, and then the bottom part is about 40-something degrees. Damn. So New Zealand is more south.
It's a lot bigger than I thought. New Zealand's a lot bigger than I thought. I thought it was a smaller country.
It's small, but I'd have to look it up. Yeah, it's about the size of Japan.
Damn.
Like the length.
That's cool. But I know New Zealand. You told me that was one of one of the places you really want to be able to live in.
Yeah, it's actually not that cold considering it's being 40 degrees south. It has a lot of subtropical climates in the north especially, and it's very like wet. Of course, the inland area is colder, but the coast is very mild weather because of how humid it is and how the weather is moderated by the rain shadow effect on the west coast especially. The east coast is colder, but west coast isn't as cold, so it's really nice.
You know what's an interesting thing? I remember, I think it was a couple months ago, my parents were telling me about this Russian documentary. I ended up watching it as well. It's about this Russian man in Siberia who's talking about ice melting, or what do you call it, like the ice inside the ground, you know what I mean?
The permafrost.
Permafrost, yes, yeah.
Permafrost.
Permafrost melting, and he said it has a lot to do with a lot of trees growing and not enough destruction of trees, which is kind of interesting. Like, why would you want to destroy trees? In reality, these trees are making it a lot warmer. The vegetation is making it a lot warmer, and so the permafrost is just melting down. And because it's melting down, there's a lot of issues with like what do you call it, landslides and losing land and losing I forget what it's called, something. But it was interesting the way he solved it. Basically, he just took animals and had them destroy the trees and stuff like that, and have them graze so that the permafrost is better, which is a really unique solution. I was like, who would have ever thought of that?
Yeah, I think it's because the trees roots destroy the permafrost. Is that why? Yeah.
It makes it warmer, so it melts as well. It causes a lot of land to be lost.
And like lots of swamps because the ice melts and it becomes very soggy, like becomes swampy.
Yeah, it does become swampy. Yeah. Can you imagine? This was in Siberia as well, I think.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there are alligators in Siberia?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying. Alligators in Siberia would be the toughest creature in the world.
Yeah.
Just because it'd be able to adapt to the cold.
And imagine if the bears fight the alligators. I would like to see that fight. The bear versus the alligator.
Oh my god, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be very crazy. Are there tigers in Siberia? Siberian tigers?
I'm not sure. I know there's a snow leopard. I think they're very endangered, right? The snow leopards.
Yeah, snow leopards are definitely endangered.
There's like 25 of certain leopard left.
Are you serious?
I don't know if that's a snow leopard, but I think it's one of the types of snow leopards.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they're being protected by soldiers, I believe.
It better be.
Yeah.
We don't want another species to go and sting.
Yeah.
It's because I think the 1900s we overhunt, we overfish, we overdid things.
Yeah.
And now with the environment changing, it's even worse. So it's harder for them to gain back that population. But yeah, that sucks. 25. That's horrible. And also pandas are going endangered. We got birds going endangered. We have the dodo bird that went completely extinct.
Yeah.
I remember sitting when I was younger, looking at like extinct animals. I was like, whoa! I thought they were just dinosaurs that were extinct. It was, in fact, animals that went extinct 50 or 60 years ago. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, how did they go extinct? They were doing so well. Boom, they're gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's all I got about climate change,
Same
animals,
here.
and electric cars and bodybuilding.
Yeah, what you gonna say?
That's all.
Oh yeah. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see. We'll see you next week for another next podcast. And stay safe, stay healthy, and make sure y'all take like a lot of good food and water and supplements. I take vitamin C to keep your immune system strong, especially if you're living in places where allergies a lot, because allergies can bring down your immune system. So make sure you take care of your health, work out, and don't get sick like I did for the couple of days.
Yeah. Stay safe, stay healthy, try to enjoy life. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast. Comment anything else you would want us to talk about, anything you want us to cover. anything that we should improve on the podcast as well. And thank you for watching.
Thank you. See you later.
Have a good one.